Hello, everybody. My name's Llama Joe, and welcome to my channel. All right, we are back with the letter. With an abrupt change to just an entirely new day. I thought there'd be more going on at the party with like Ashton's role, but I guess not. So that's, fine. I guess. Guess we're just on to the next day, which is cool because like we're on October 29th, and there's the 30th, which has like hardly anything. And then the 31st and the 1st, which also has nothing. So I think we're going to get a lot of this through Ashton. So, fine by me. The morning after starts off quiet. Even the whole of Solomon Residences seems unusually still. The open hallway when I step out is devoid of tenants. No sounds coming from the outer units either. It's almost as if something's brewing on the horizon. Peaceful night's sleep still does wonders for the mood, though. Can't even remember the last time I've slept without anything urgent interrupting. It's a nice break from all the bad news lately. If it wasn't for the insistent buzzing in my pocket waking me up, I'd sleep in. The ringing has stopped before I could move somewhere private, but sleep has also been effectively kicked out of my system by then. Pity. Could have used a little more rest until I have to face the other storm. Of course, I owe Rebecca an explanation. It doesn't matter if it's the whole truth or another hastily spun tale. Although I haven't really figured out how to go about this yet. Unlike Zach and Isabella, who don't usually ask questions and are content with what little I could share, Rebecca's rather quick on the trigger. It will have to be set aside for later, though.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me.
The chief's name stares back at me, almost if it's mocking me.
Pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from
I forgot about
Deluxe
Ash's
City.
ringtone.
Baggers, watch
Sad.
out, can't beat me.
Would have been nice to just chill out after last night, or maybe half listen to the news. Sure, it's the same thing we've been hearing lately. Still beats standing outside in the chilly Luxembourg morning on the phone with my boss. Sigh and I answer it. If only to get this over with.
Ray, where are you right now?
Now that's a tone I didn't expect from him at this hour. Just thinking how this will go already gives me a headache. Immediately I reach up and pinch the bridge of my nose to stave it off.
This is why I won't ever drink myself senseless.
What was that?
Nothing, Chief. A pleasant morning to you, too.
He's probably calling to rag on me or complain about his wife, which is really none of my business unless it affects my case. It seems like the usual rich man cheats on wife deal. Although, I would have followed up on it if it were somebody else's wife. But, figuring it's the Chief's, hey, I trust him to come clean if the missus is related to the right's shady dealings. This is why I left before they even hauled the woman out last night. I'm not going to go around investigating cheating husbands and wives when it's probably just that. Chief appears to have a different idea in mind, though.
There's nothing pleasant in the morning. Anyway, where are you? I told you millions of times before to keep your lines open.
He did, and not only him. Zach, Rebecca, Isabella, all of them have said the same thing numerous times in the past. But I was undercover last night. Phone call's the last thing I want to happen when there are other things I need to focus on at the time. Besides, we have radios and work-issued phones. Why isn't he using those channels if this is urgent?
Just woke up, sir. As awesome as it is to hear your voice this morning, it really is early. If you could give me a few minutes just to wake myself up, that'd be swell.
No need for that. This won't take long.
Is something wrong? Am I needed at the precinct ASAP?
Oh no, everything's good over there. Just look, kid. Pray. Don't take this personally, alright? You're off the Luxborn firm case. Starting today.
Uh-oh. Well, I did not expect to hear that, either. This must be some kind of cosmic joke. I allow some awkward seconds to pass. Chief must be pulling another one of his awful pranks. Out of his bad mood or severe hangover, maybe? Everyone knows that when given the chance, he exercises no control with his drinking. If it wasn't for his wife causing a stir, he'd probably be trashed an hour in at the party. He likely drank more after they threw her out of the ballroom. Besides, his sense of humor has never been good. It's just infuriating most of the time. But when he doesn't follow it up, sounds a tiny bit frustrated speaking to my own superior. I'm not the one to blame.
Wait, no. What? Are you kidding, Chief? Is this one of your practical jokes again? The temps won't say anything about it, but I...
It's not that. They're orders. From the higher-ups.
Ah, the higher-ups. Yes, my favorite word. Since when did the higher-ups ever care about what criminal investigation department did? As far as I can tell, they don't give a hoot if CID is filled with cold cases as long as we keep the spending low. When I need to view those old case files, though, they're locked away in the archives. You're going to have to check with the higher-ups. I need access to these reports. See if the higher-ups would allow it. every step, every move in this case. There isn't one that hasn't been gated by some authority. If it's not the chief, it's the commissioner, so they always tell me. It makes me wonder why they even bothered assigning it to anyone. Not a single one of them has done anything to help move the case. And they wonder why it has taken this long for even a hint of progress to show.
You can't just drop this on me. You can't just take me off like that.
Yes, I can. And I'm sorry, Ashton. You're a good detective. One of the best I've seen in years, but
3 years, Chief. 3 years.
3 years since that anonymous tech leak blew up. Since Luke Wright's name was openly linked to several nasty dealings within Luxborn's corporate world, some of them involving deaths. 3 years, and I was the only one who made it this far. Made much progress that officers with much more experience weren't able to do when they handled this case. Just within a year, and with barely any help from the damn brass at that. Of course I'll be pissed.
Do you know what would have happened if I didn't work my ass off on this thing? If I didn't dedicate a whole year of my time on it? It would have gone cold, like every fucking case Luke Wright has been linked to. I saved this from getting thrown into the archives, sir. I'm getting close. If you could just...
I'm fully aware of what you've done, Frey. But the Commissioner hasn't been happy with your progress. Still too slow by their standards.
Too slow? Well, what about those reports I filed? I've documented every freaking thing for them. I've given you every important lead I can gather. Isn't that enough?
They need results, not a bunch of research papers. Not one baseless assumption after another. Concrete proof, Frey. I'm really sorry. They've already made a decision. They're going to pass this on to someone who's been in the force longer. Someone who has more experience.
Someone who has more experience?
I meant nothing by it, but you're still too young to work on a case this big.
Chief, I've already done more than what those old farts ever did behind their desks. All of it, within just a year of being assigned to this.
Watch your language, Frey. Those are your superiors,
I'm not some damn rookie fresh out of training. I'm as qualified as they are.
Futile, I know it is. They never say it within any of my earshot, but the very minute I stepped in their precinct, a lot of them had underestimated me. From their stares alone, to the assignments I get, to them I'm still just a kid, too young, too green, too inexperienced. And once they pull that card on me, every argument I have gets thrown out the window. I mean, how logical it is, how much I've accomplished, what the records say, or the amount of work I put in every investigation they've thrown my
We're all
way.
aware of your skills, kid. You wouldn't have that badge and rank if you weren't good enough. However, this case is just not for you. Too high profile, too risky to put a good officer like you in harm's way.
Can he even hear himself? That reasoning is odd in itself. No one joins this line of work without knowing the dangers of it.
Don't I get a second chance? You said it yourself. I'm a good detective. It'll just be a matter of time before we can close this.
It doesn't matter what I think, Frey. You're off the case, and that's final. I expect all related files and documents on my desk by Monday morning. And don't even try to go touch anything. I know how hard-headed and determined you are.
Chief, please. A few more weeks. I'll have the proper evidence left on your desk by then. I swear it won't take longer than that.
Fred, it's too late, boy. I've already informed the other officers. You aren't to be allowed access until you've been given a new assignment. Hell, just keep out of the precinct, Frey. Take the weekend off.
Seriously, Chief, is this about last night? If this is about me being at that party, I have a good reason for...
You were at the party.
Oh, yikers. Oh, no. Oh, boy. It makes me pause. His wary tone, the sudden careful note in his voice. Slowly, a frown forms on my face. My eyebrows knit together in confusion. Much as I hate to say this about my own boss, there's also suspicion in it. Hard not to think of it that way, seeing how he acted around Hannah Wright last night. Why did I get like some weird Australian accent there? That was... okay. Is he worried? Why should he be? Everyone who's anyone was invited. I didn't doubt for a second why I received an invite, even if his presence was questionable. There's something wrong, and I've unintentionally walked into it. All I have is this sneaking suspicion, but when one looks at this from a different angle, put everything together, why the hell I've been taken off the case might be for the same reason he was there in the first place. Fuck.
Yes, Chief, I was. For a good reason. What were you doing there? I know we don't have a strict rule against attending functions, but that was...
He coughs, and it almost sounds like he's choking on his own excuses, lies. Oh my gosh. I don't want to accuse him of anything yet. He's someone I've respected since I joined LPD, even with his bizarre sense of humor and tendency to procrastinate. He's obviously competent enough to get the job done. He would be Chief Inspector of Luxburn Police if he wasn't. He wouldn't last years in the service without some track record backing him. Unless that too is a fluke, and what's backing him is not something, but someone. Oh shit. Fucking hell.
Chief
Fucking
Harvey,
shit.
about last night with the...
Why does it matter, Frey? This isn't about that.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? I'll recite the whole damn oath we've taken about being sworn into service if I can, but at this point it seems too late to remind him of that. He has probably already moved from serving and protecting people to serving and protecting his own interests. Damn it. Woo! I've suspected the upper brass of this, and even the lower ranked subordinates in the force, but from my own boss? Shit. No wonder that leak didn't lead anywhere. Someone closer might have been pulling the strings. I might have been set up to fail long before the fucking case has been assigned to me. But I don't want to just give this up. I don't want to believe I've wasted an entire year for this. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you go. Never gonna run around and desert you. I don't want this to be the kind of news to tell Professor Clark after all those promises I've given the man.
I just want to know, sir, at the party, with Luke and Hannah Wright, you were...
Dude,
Monday, Detective Inspector. First thing in the morning.
leave it alone,
Every
bro.
copy of the files you have, I want to see it all on my table. Understood?
This isn't...
Frey, am I understood?
What else can I do other than smile and nod? My own superior expecting an answer using that tone, brushing my questions off as easy as discarding a dead body.
Yes. Yes, sir.
He cuts the line as soon as the words are out. You're off the case, Frey, just like that. Funny why this still caught me off guard. I've discovered years ago how different the actual thing is, how far from reality everything I believed in as a dreamy-eyed kid. There are no high-speed pursuits every day, no thrilling gunfights or exciting cases every step of the way. Only paperwork, lots of red tape, and dealing with the politics and bureaucracy. Set out to change things, hoping to make things better for the people I care about. It ended up changing me instead. Serves me right for being too idealistic, I guess. This is probably the universe telling me that it's better remain the skeptic I really am. Now here I am, standing useless, can't even do anything but grit my teeth and kick the wall. The bastard didn't even acknowledge my response.
What did the poor wall ever do to you?
Okay, I mean, I guess it hasn't been. Asher Frey received a phone call from the chief of Luxburn Police first thing in the morning, informing that he had been taken off the Luxburn firm case. Although his protest fell on deaf ears, the sudden turn of events proved a hunch. Bum, bum, bum. It figures Rebecca would be the one to find me in this embarrassing state. Honestly, I don't like when she sees me like this, which seems to happen a lot, regardless of what I want.
Rebecca, now's not a good time.
The concern I expect from her when I turn isn't there, however. Instead, she just looks, well, the storm I left brewing last night is right there on her face, ready to be unleashed.
When is it ever a good time for you? You're always so busy with everything now. Now I find you here, sneaking out without even bothering with a proper goodbye. Not even a word. Really, I'm starting to think you're just keeping me around for my couch and my cooking.
Becca, it's not what you're thinking. I wasn't planning on sneaking out. I was going to say goodbye. I just had to take this call. Although, I'm not gonna lie, couch is great. 10 out of 10. Would sleep again.
Stop it with the jokes, Ashton. I'm not in the mood.
Her bitterness is not lost on me, but at this point in our friendship and our lives, how does she still expect me to answer that? What am I supposed to tell her now?
Are you still mad about last night?
She merely raised an eyebrow at me, which, to be honest, is all the response I need. Seeing her like this makes me believe those things Z-Man says, the part where Rebecca scares him. Sometimes. I've certainly seen this more than once already. But the familiarity of it doesn't really take away from the downhill turn this conversation's starting to take. Only an awkward cough serves as a way to stall.
Okay, of course you're still mad. But whatever happened last night, I really am sorry. I'll apologize as many times as you want. If you want, I'd even kneel or something.
Ashton, an apology is nice and all, but that's not what I wanted to hear from you today.
Alright, fine, okay. Where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't know. I've honestly lost track of it by your third trip to the buffet table.
Yikes.
I wasn't... The drive up there took a bit. Can you blame me if I wanted to grab some appetizers?
Oh, come on, Ash! For the whole evening? For the whole party? Please don't tell me that's all you did, because I've never known you as someone who pigs out. You even took great lengths to avoid me. Should I also mention how you ignored Zach? Sometimes I get the feeling you don't want to be seen with us in public. Some friendship, huh?
You know it's not like that. It's never going to be like that, Becca.
I'll ask this again. Just what were you up to during the party? What were you doing that you couldn't even take 2 seconds to make time for your friends?
I couldn't even look her in the eye. It wasn't that I wanted to avoid them. I did it to keep Zach safe, to keep Rebecca safe. Just in case. Klein, our family friend, it was still a party hosted by a person of interest, by a man accused years ago of murdering a person's wife to get what he wanted. But then Chief showed up, Hannah Wright happened, and Luke Wright just can't be bothered to die peacefully somewhere. All of a sudden, none of my original reasons mattered. If I was found out right then and there, hell, if Zach and Rebecca's connection with me was found out, who knows what might have happened. But Rebecca doesn't understand that, doesn't understand what I can and can't say to keep them from harm. It's all in her eyes, and the tight line of her lips and her furrowed brows. The hurt. This day is just off to a wonderful start. First my case, now Becca. How do I even go about this? That's hard. Because I want to tell some of the truth, right? But, like, then you're stretching the truth. So it's like, still kind of a lie. But then insisting it's confidential is still brushing it off. And I said let's stretch the truth. Darn it. Shoot. I don't want to... This is gonna just... Okay. Yeah, it went down. Shit. I didn't want that. Alright. Obviously, I couldn't just say, hey, Becca, you know the Wrights? They're suspected to be ringleaders of a crime syndicate and shit like that. Protocol or otherwise, there are so many things I'm not allowed to tell the others. Even if I am able to share information with civilians, knowing anything could very well put them in danger. That's why I keep it vague. Obscure the facts, or when push comes to shove, stretch the truth and lie through my teeth. Oh, see. It's a necessity I've grown to deal with, and has already become a part of me, no matter how much I loathe doing it.
I mentioned it, didn't I? I was there on behalf of someone else. I was on business, Becca. I wasn't there to have a good time.
She doesn't look convinced. At all. Although she's the very picture of someone who's at least willing to listen, her glare effectively takes a good 20 off my current years. I feel like a kid again, being reprimanded by my junior high teacher for sleeping in class. But getting away with that is easier than with this one. It's the thing with someone you've been friends with for so long. They're the ones who know you inside out. Good grades wouldn't be enough for Rebecca to let this whole thing slide.
You can't even spare a single second to mingle?
What was I supposed to say? Hi, fancy meeting you here. Would you like to dance? By the way, those appetizers were really good. You should try some. Like that. I've got a boss guy breathing down my neck. I don't exactly have the luxury of doing as I please.
This much is true. My reasons for being at the party, too. However, Chief's presence last night made a lot of things difficult. Approaching them was out of the question when there was someone watching, a person who knew the reason why I was there. It turned out to be a good call on my part. But for someone who's already angry beyond reason, everything will only sound like an excuse.
Cut the shite. I saw you stuffing your face with the deviled eggs, while your own boss is off on the other side of the room. You didn't even exchange a word or a glance with him either. In fact, I think you're also avoiding the man. Just say you don't want to talk about it instead of lying to my face.
I do feel guilty. Still, we've already been down this road. This is something I've done so repeatedly in the past. Something she's heard from me more times than all my fingers can count. Something I'll just have to get over with at this moment.
I'm sorry, you know that, Becca. I really, really am. I wouldn't do this shit if I didn't have a good reason to.
And you know that I don't like you lying to me. If you can't tell the truth, just don't say anything and shut your gob. I swear, Ashton Frey, you are just so dense.
I'm really sorry.
I'm so angry. I can't even bear to look at you right now because I swear I'll knock you right off your block. I mean, what good reason could you have to act like an antisocial asshole?
Becca. Oh.
The only time you did talk to me was to spout some vague nonsense about Luke. What was that all about?
Oh, I picked the wrong choice, and I'm so sorry.
Were you somehow expecting me to
Oh.
just accept everything as it is?
You really shouldn't go near that man, Becca.
Why? Because you don't trust him? I wonder if you actually trust anyone. Aside from the three of us, Zach, Isabella, and myself, do you even have any other friends? If you're perfectly fine with that, then go ahead. No one is stopping you. But don't expect me to share the same views. I can have a life of my own. Friends that I don't necessarily share with you. I'm an adult, Ashton, and I can make my own bloody decisions. I sure as hell can choose the people I want to let into my life.
Shit. All right. Of course. She's allowed to do as she pleases. I've never mentioned she couldn't. Us growing up together doesn't mean it always is. It has to be just the two of us. It's a dumb idea to believe it when nothing ever remains constant. Things will inevitably change through the years. She'll make friends with people outside of our little circle. I'm just as free to form relationships with other people. But why of all people did it have to be him? Why does it have to be Luke Wright? That guy's nothing but trouble. How could you defend a guy like that? She's already calling him Luke for Pete's sake.
I trust Zach, I trust Isabella, and I trust you, Rebecca. So why can't you trust me on this? You need to stay away from that man. Because he's... I really wish I could tell you.
What was that saying Isabella mentioned before? A liar is a brother of a thief. People who look at me now will probably say I'm a hair's breadth away from being a criminal. Z-Man said something like that once a few years into our friendship. I laughed it off back then, but now? They're probably right. Little by little, I'm becoming the very kind of person I hate. How ironic. The silence afterwards brings an even heavier air between us. Something that Rebecca thankfully doesn't allow to linger more than necessary.
I suppose you have to go now, huh?
Situation's already awkward as it is. Dragging this out will only make it more... what? Difficult? Messed up? As if it isn't already.
Back to your case again?
I don't really have to. I have no case. As far as the job is concerned, I have the weekend off until I have to report to Chief on Monday. Although I don't want to just throw in the towel on this. Orders are orders. This isn't like the movies. I don't get to say fuck off, throw my gun and badge at him, become some vigilante, save the day, and get my job back. I'd rather get my ass thrown in jail than do any of that. But it's also not my nature to sit still and do nothing. It'll drive me crazy if I just idle about. Besides, there's someone who has to know about this whole Luke Wright thing.
Yeah, I need to go talk to Professor Clark. And there's something else I need to look into.
That other matter she mentioned last night specifically. The same stuff Zachary has also been trying to tell me. Things even the news have been blasting out to the general populace lately. Evening, afternoon, morning, all deaths with the same modus. Modus? Blamed on a single serial killer. Or is it still the case?
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxborn police.
We're grasping at straws as far as these murders are concerned. In the first place, I'm not even the one heading this investigation, yet look at me treating it as if it's another high-profile case on my shoulder. How sad is that? Although, all three of my friends have mentioned seeing something strange. I don't want to go into that line of thinking. For now. Not yet. Not until I've exhausted every logical argument I could throw at it. Man, God, this shit's lasting forever. I didn't think I'd have 2 interactions. Boom, boom, boom. Lasting half an hour long again. Anyway. To be honest, though, I don't know how to take all this anymore. But I've already given Isabella my word. It'd bother me more if I didn't follow up on a promise I made to her. And after Rebecca's claims last night, there won't be enough sarcasm in the world if what my friends have been telling me is true. I can already hear Isabella's laughter, in fact.
Figures. What else can it be?
Yep, can we go now so I can end the recording,
It's
please?
not another case. It's something else.
I'm not about to have a 45-minute recording now.
That issue Isabella mentioned yesterday morning. I'm sure you remember. You were there.
Well, at least you're not neglecting all your friends.
Becca, I promised her I'll...
She doesn't wait for me to finish. With a roll of her eyes, she turns around and shuts the door in my face. I have no idea what I've said this time, but
I probably deserve that.
we'll just have to fix some other time. By then, her temper's sure to have cooled off significantly. Hopefully. Hey, we're still here? Oh my god. Ashton, leave and never come back. Rebecca confronted Ashton about what happened at the party the night before. Unable to tell any details, the latter chose to stretch the truth. It led to another argument and ended with Rebecca slamming the door closed on him. Oh. That's sad. I feel really bad. Yeah. I'll save. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry again for the long episode. I didn't think this interaction would be forever and a half. It's the only issue I have with these games is like the scene changes are really weird, and one will last 10 seconds and the other will last 4 years, and I can't determine that. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and I'll do the best I can to make it right. I'm Llama Joe, and I'll catch you guys later.